Hey there, Chart of People, it's Mrs. Boyd here. Today, we're going to talk about arcs and angles and their measures. First, let's talk about what arcs are. An arc is the outer edge of the circle that is connected by two endpoints. So arc BC is the part of the circle that is between points B and C. All right. The measure of a minor arc, minor in this case, a minor arc is less than 180 degrees and equal to the central angle. So this little tent looking symbol above BC, that is the arc symbol. That's required when you're talking about an arc. If you're handwriting it, or if I'm handwriting it, it'll probably look like that. It might look like that. I don't know. My handwriting is just the worst. The measure of angle BAC, well, BAC in this case is the central angle. The central angle has endpoints on the circle and a vertex at the center of the circle. So in this case, if the measure of arc BC is 135, that also means the measure of the central angle BAC is 135. So a minor arc, we have an angle that's less than 180 degrees and equal to the central angle. In this case, they're both 135. If we have instead a semicircle, the measure of a semicircle is equal to 180 and equal to its central angle. So a semicircle is the line that cuts the circle in half. So arc GHF is a semicircle. Notice I've got the arc labeled with 3 points in this case. It could have been either direction, but in a semicircle, it's important that we call it by 3 points because I could go over here and it would be the same angle. So I wanted to be specific about which side we were on. So the measure of arc GHF is 180. The central angle is GEF, and it's also 180. Semicircle, the central angle is a straight line. It is also a diameter. Last but not least, there's a major arc. The measure is greater than 180 and equal to its central angle. So the measure of arc BCD is, if BAD is 135, we found, BAC above. BAD in this case, we're going to say is 135. It means angle BCD is 360, all of the degrees of the entire circle, minus that arc, that 135 arc. So that means measure of arc BCD is 225. All right, so now that you know the basics about arcs and angles and how we measure them, let's put this into practice. All right, EC is a diameter in this circle, so EC is a diameter. We want to name all of the minor arcs. Well, let's just go around the circle. We've got EB is a minor arc, or I'm going to write BE apparently. I've got DE. I've got DC. I've also got BD and BC. I think that's about it. Everything else is a semicircle or a major arc. I'm going to erase these so that we can use this circle for some other stuff. If BAE, measure of angle BAE, so BAE is 40, And the measure of arc CAD, so this arc is 100. Find the measure of arc BE. Well, the arc and the central angle are the same. So if this central angle is 40, this arc is 40 as well. Arc BC, all right, so if this is our diameter, then this central angle is 180. That means this whole arc is 180, and we just want to know this part. So this is 180 minus 40 for arc BE. So that means the measure of arc BC is 140. Let's see, we want the measure of angle BAC. Let me erase some parts here. Except for what we know, that this is 40. All right, so now we know, we want to know the measure of angle BAC. So if this arc is 140, that angle is also 140. Yes, it's a 4, shut it. Measure of arc DE. All right, so if this arc is 100 and this is 180, DE has to be 180 minus 100, or 80. The arc is 80. Measure of angle DAE is going to be the same thing. It's also going to be 80 down there. Measure of arc DB. Well, we can just add these two arcs together. We have 80 plus 40. That'll be 120. Angle DAB, same thing. Also 120. Arc DC is the last thing. Measure of arc DC is 100. All right, let's do another one. I bet you can do this one on your own. You pause here and try it out, and then we'll check our work together. Okay, we know EC is a diameter and DF is a diameter. They both look to be that way, so we can say, no, that's true. Name all the semicircles. Well, we've got arc DEF is a semicircle. So that's DEF, so like this. We know that arc DCF is a semicircle, goes in the opposite direction. We know that arc EDC is a semicircle on this half. Then for the last one, we'll do the opposite way, EBC. Oh, that's the wrong button, arc EBC. All right, now measure of angle EAF is 110. So EAF is 110. And the measure of arc BF is 60. Find the following. Measure of arc BE. Well, if together they're 110 and this part is 60, this has to be 110 minus 60. Or 50. The measure of arc BC, well, let's see what we know. We know this guy is 50, and we know that all of this is 180. So arc FC, if this is 110, FC will have to be 70. Right here. So BC will be 60 plus 70, or 130. Measure of angle BAC, same thing, 130. Measure of arc DE, well, that's this here. If this guy's 110, this one here has to be 180 minus 110, or 70. The measure of angle DAE is thus Same thing, 70. Measure of arc DB, it's right here. If this one's 70 and DB is 50, or EB is 50, we'll have 70 plus 50 is 120 for that arc. Angle DAB is the same thing, 120. Measure of arc DC, if this whole thing is 180 and that one's 70, this is going to be 180 minus 70 or 110. Hooray! Last one, try this guy on your own. We're going to do the table first this time. The measure of angle EAB is 45. And the measure of arc ECD is 280. So that's all of this is 280. And EC is a diameter. So that splits the whole thing in half. Find the following. The measure of arc BE, this one right there, that is what we've been told, 45. Arc BC, well, we have to add EB and BC together to get 180. So we've got 180 minus 45. That's 135. The measure of angle BAC will also be 135. The measure of arc DE, see if I can get my computer to cooperate. There we go. Arc DE is right here. Let's see. Well, arc DE is the only thing not included in our 280-degree arc. So that'll be 360 minus 280 to find arc DE, which will give us 80. Also, the measure of angle DAE is going to be 80 because the central angle equals the arc length. Measure of arc DB, this one right here, we'll add those two together. So 80 plus 45 is 125. The measure of angle DAB will also be 125. Last but not least, arc DC. We're going to add these all to, oh, no, wait, we have 80 here. And this whole thing is 180. So we'll do 180 minus 80 gives us 100. So name all of the major arcs. That's anything over 180 degrees. Well, we've got lots on here, it looks like. We've got, let's see, arc CDB. Yep. We've got arc BCE. Almost the entire circle. Arc ECD. It's another almost the entire circle. Arc DBC. And arc BCD. Those are all of our major arcs. I'm just leaving out little parts every time we make a new arc. All right, kids, I hope this makes all sorts of sense to you. Reach out if you have any trouble, and I'll see you soon.